Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of Bantering with the Classic Book Characters, the game show with a square wheel. Here's how it works.
So, we have our wheel, and whoever it lands on, they have to tell us how the theme for today relates to them. Person with the most wins.
But first, let's get our theme for today.
Love is the strongest emotion.
Let's meet the contestants.
Dr. Manette. Miss Pross. Sydney Carton.
Spin that rectangle!
Before Lucy's wedding, I came to her, and I told her how I really felt about her, about my life, about everything. I told her I was sad, and I told her what I'd do for her. Even if she was marrying a man I hated, I would still do that for her because I loved her. I said to her,
"In the hour of my death, I shall hold sacred the one good remembrance, and shall thank and bless you for it, that my last avowal of myself was made to you, and that my name and faults and miseries were gently carried in your heart. May it otherwise be light and happy."
Let's spin that rectangle again. I was a prisoner for 18 years, and I fell into a horrible depression. But when I saw my daughter's hair, I remembered, and I somehow came out of that depressive state. I said,
"It is the same. How can it be? When was it? How was it?"
spin it.
I'm so protective of my little ladybird. I didn't want her to have anyone other than my brother Solomon because I knew that he was the only one worthy of her.
Who wants to spin that rectangle? When I found out that Darnay was the cause of my imprisonment, I didn't feel the need to get back at him. I stayed true to my daughter because I love her and I only want what's best for her. Time to spin the rectangle again.
I moved to France because of Lucy. To be closer to her, to be closer to her family. Because I loved Lucy. I loved her a lot. I loved her more than anything. She was the one that gave me life and made me feel happy when I was so sad all the time.
Who's ready to spin that rectangle?
I did anything I could for my little ladybird. Like when Madame Defarge came over to our little place looking for her to murder her. And I tried all that I could to keep her safe. And I pretended like she was in a room. And I kept her out of that room. And then I fought Madame Defarge to keep her away.
Madame Defarge made it at the door. Miss Pross, on instinct of the moment, seized her round the waist in both her arms and held her tight.
Spin that rectangle. My daughter's husband was imprisoned. I did my best to help him out of that, and if I hadn't have had my love for my daughter Lucy, I wouldn't have done that. I would have let him rot and die away in the prison, because he was the cause of my imprisonment. And when I was going to go talk to Charles, I said to my good friend, Mr. Lorry,
My dear friend, I have a charmed life in this city. My old pain has given me a power that has brought us through the barrier. I knew I could help Charles out of all danger.
I have so much love in my heart. Who's ready to spin that rectangle?
As I was being brought to my death, I saw a little seamstress. She thought I was someone else, but once she figured it out, I helped her. I gave her courage. I gave her hope of a good afterlife. And I helped her through this hard time. I was going through a hard time as well, but instead of ignoring her or doing something like that, I decided I wanted to help her.
As the patient eyes were lifted to his face, he saw a sudden doubt in them, and then astonishment. He pressed the work-worn, hunger-worn young fingers and touched his lips.
Let's spin that rectangle.
Even though I didn't particularly like Darnay, I loved Lucy and I wanted her to have a happy life. And so when Darnay was sentenced to death, I took his place. And I decided I wanted to die for him and for her and for her family, their family. I wanted her to be happy. And so right before my death, I said,
It is a far, far better thing that I do than I have ever done. It is a far, far better rest that I go to than I have ever known.
And the winner is Sydney Carton. Join us next time when we'll be looking into Romeo and Juliet.
did we? Where'd it go? Wait,
You're wearing a dress?
I'm the Van White or whatever.
Hello, my name. Stop it.
What? Like this.
Okay, I'll do it again. Ava, how about you explain the rules of this contest?
So, I don't know the rules of the contest.
Nobody does. I don't know. I don't know what to say this time. When my husband...